We all know what goals are, right? Like, you start the year and you create this like summit of the mountain in front of you, if you will. You kind of like set out, okay, here's my big ambitious thing that I'm going to go try to achieve. These are my goals. Anti-goals are the things that you are not willing to sacrifice in your pursuit of those goals. Charlie Munger, the famous investor, had this great quote. He said, "All I want to know is where I'm going to die, so I never go there." That idea in a nutshell is anti-goals, like knowing where you are going to die so that you can avoid it. So, give you an example. Let's say my goal is to become CEO of the company. Big, ambitious goal. That's what I want to achieve. That's the summit of the mountain. My anti-goal might be spending 300 nights out of the year away from my family and allowing my health and stress levels to meaningfully suffer. I want to achieve the goal of becoming CEO, but not if it means these anti-goals becoming real. I
Okay.
don't want to lose my family and lose my health in pursuit of this goal. And so what that does is now I have guardrails. Now, as I'm pursuing my goal, I know when I'm starting to go awry, when I'm starting to lose myself in pursuit of this goal, so I can course correct along that journey. Anti-goals are essential because they allow you to avoid losing the bigger picture war in your pursuit of this one battle. I talk about and write about this idea of the Pyrrhic victory. It's the idea of a victory that comes at such a steep cost to the victor that it might as well have been a defeat. It's, the battle won, but the war lost. The Pyrrhic victory is what we all need to avoid in life. And anti-goals are really a tool for avoiding that Pyrrhic victory. They allow you to go and win the battle and the much bigger picture war.
I love it. And I love the fact that once you're aware of what they are, it really, like, you're setting a boundary. Like, I will pursue my goals, but not at the expense of all these things, right? Like, for me, it would
Exactly.
be like, I need sleep. That's a non-negotiable. I want to, like certain things, your health, your sleep, your relationships.
Yeah, I'm not willing to be the stereotypical multimillionaire who has 3 divorces and
Yeah.
4 kids that don't talk to him.
Yep.
Right? Like my entire life changed when I realized that I would never trade lives with the people that I was reading books about. Like you go and
Oh,
read books about these amazing quote unquote success stories of people throughout history, and many of them have deeply broken lives in other areas. They've
yeah.
definitely
So true.
succeeded in this one domain. But if that's not my definition of success, then I don't need to go and chase that. I get to create
Absolutely.
my own map of what I want to go out and do. And that is a really empowering realization to a young kid coming up, to a recent graduate, to anyone on any part of their journey in life, to recognize that you don't have to follow someone else's map. Like you don't have to strive to be one of the crazy ones,
Yeah.
quote unquote. You can build your
Yeah.
life in your own way, but it requires you to actually sit down and think about what that life really is.
Yes. And you know what? That brings up that I think all the successful people that we've been taught are successful, they are these very extreme examples where they don't have a truly successful and holistic life, right? I think our generation may be here to start redefining success in the mainstream and to be like, okay, he is successful because boom, 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 he has this well-rounded life, or you achieve, but you also have all these other things.
I mean, that's my purpose and mission in a nutshell.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we've always historically defined success around the one thing of money. That was, the one thing we could measure.
Or money, or like innovation, maybe like famous
Yeah.
scientists or something. Success was just very one-sided.
Yeah, it was business success.
Mm-hmm.
We very rarely thought to say, like, oh, that, local community leader who had a, nice little house, but had like 4 kids, coached all the sports teams, loving relationship, whole ton of friends, people really respected that person in the community. Like, we've never really thought to say, oh, wow, like that person's super
Yeah.
successful. That
Yeah.
looks like a beautiful, happy,
Yeah.
fulfilling life. It might not be a big life, quote unquote, but a very fulfilling, happy, and beautiful and useful one. And so redefining that, recognizing that there is a noble and beautiful pursuit in building that life. It doesn't just have to be the Steve Jobses or the Elon Musks of the world, Jeff
Yep.
Bezoses or whatever that looks like. You can create your own definition of what this looks like.
Yeah. Love it. Love it. There's another idea you talk about called the life raiser. So what is this?
So the life raiser is the idea of a single identity defining statement that governs how your ideal self shows up in the world during this season of your life.
Okay.
It is the idea of being able to quickly draw upon that sort of character, like your ideal self, who that person is, so that when different opportunities or chaos arise, you're able to turn on that version of you to respond to whatever situation. So my life razor is I will coach my son's sports teams. I'm the type of person who coaches his son's sports teams. My son is 3 years old, so he's not really on any sports teams yet. But the statement means something to me. It means that I'm the type of person who prioritizes his relationship with his
Yep.
son, with his wife, as a community member. It means that I place my integrity and character ahead of chasing whatever shiny objects are out there in the world. And it means that I create the time freedom. It means that I really prioritize this as part of my life. I'm not
Yeah.
going to just chase a million different things. So whenever any opportunity, chaos comes into my life, I can ask myself, what does the type of person who coaches his son's sports teams do in this situation? Like if some fancy new opportunity and job comes up, but it's going to require me to be away 100 nights out of the year, it's a pretty easy answer to say no, because that would preclude me from being able to do this thing that is my ideal version of myself. Having your own version of that in your life, the book walks through a whole exercise of how
Yeah.
to construct your own version. And, I have examples of 10 or so people from different walks of life, men and women, different ages, of how they thought about constructing theirs. Coming up with yours, it is an unbelievably powerful tool for improving the way that you live on a day-to-day basis.
Is this like a short statement or can it be as long as you want?
It can be as long as you want. I tend to think that shorter statements are easier to kind of call upon. Like I have mine like on a card that sits on my computer, so that when the situations happen, I can look at it and I can say like, oh, okay, let me snap back to that situation.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of life, just as a meta point, a lot of life is basically about awareness and action. Like life is really an awareness and action game. And awareness is a really important thing, because we often say, like, we hear something and you say, like, oh, yeah, I know that. It doesn't really matter if you know that in a moment. It matters if you know that at the moment, like at the testing point. I need to be able to draw on that awareness at the testing point to then act on it. If I don't draw on it at the testing point, I'm not able to act on it. So I might know in the abstract that, like, I care about my son, I care about my family. But if I don't have that ideal self top of mind right when the opportunity or the chaos hits, I may miss out on acting in line with that ideal self
Yeah.
version. And so it's very important to create in your own life these little simple triggers around you that remind you who you are, that remind you what you care about, what those priorities are. And that is what this like single statement can really do, because it's so easy to just have around you to then be able
Yeah.
to go draw upon it, to act on it when it really counts.
I love that so much. I do the same thing where I have this ideal self and the vision of my life that I want to live. But I think condensing it into a statement and then being able to bring it up before I make big decisions, that's the key to act on it on the right time.
It's funny how impactful it is to be able to like flip the switch in your mind, to just see like, oh, that's who I am. Like I am that person. On a daily basis, you have so many things that have happened. Like right now it's 4 o'clock. You might have had 100 things that have happened to you during the course of the day that have knocked you off course in some tiny way from acting in line with your ideal self. Something stressful happened. You may have a pain in your leg or your back. Like you got some bad email. Maybe you got bad news in some way. Your mom is bugging you. There's a million things. So now at the end of the day, something comes in. I am not going to be really locked in on that, like on the version of myself that is going to show up in the right way. Tomorrow morning, I might be after a fresh head and a night of sleep. But if I need to respond to the situation now, I need some quick way to like pull myself back in from wherever I was existing, whatever headspace I was in, to just very quickly be able to make a decision, take an action that's in line with that version.